Okay, Coach. Well, the road ends here. It has been a wild, often unpredictable 2019 season. And now it's time for the greatest spectacle in all of sports. Super Bowl 54 from Miami. You know, this town has played host to 10 Super Bowls in the past. And tonight, we write chapter number 11. And what a matchup we've got. Tonight, it's all on the line. We play for the Lombardi Trophy between the San Francisco 49ers taking on a second team from the NFC, the Minnesota Vikings. Kirk Cousins leading out the Vikings. Remember, the Minnesota Brass shelled out the big money to bring in Cousins a couple of years ago because they wanted to make it to this very game. They brought him in from Washington, and Cousins has him on the biggest stage in all of football, ready to go, trying to win their first ever Super Bowl. A first down throw for Cousins. And Diggs has it. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating? The guys who just gave up that play.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. Cousins. It's complete to Diggs. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. Call that a very strong gain of 24. And we see the emphasis early here. Get your star receiver involved, able to do it successfully.
Not a bad start to begin with, that's for sure. And to me, this play says our guy is better than your guy's. Because, you know, a player of his stature, he won't just be single covered all game long. It's going to involve multiple people. And right away, they told the other team, guess what? He's just better.
On 2nd and 15 now. Cousins. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down. Well, if those at home were wondering if we were going to see some offense in this Super Bowl, I think your answer was right there. Incomplete, but they take a big shot early.
Like the script. If they get the big play early, so much the better. But if nothing else, they send a message. They're going to be aggressive in this game.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the former first-rounder Jimmy Ward. And the return stops just a little bit shy of midfield at the 48-yard line. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10. Just shy of midfield at the 48. Garoppolo. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about. So the contact came before the ball got there, and the flag is thrown.
Timing is everything, isn't it? And it's so hard to cover these great receivers. They have such great body control, and they can fake you out. In this case, as you described, got there before the ball got to the receiver. Penalty flag had to come out.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete. The turnover put them in great field position. They don't want to squander it with 3rd down coming up.
No, not at all. And you know what else you do? You make your defense mad.
Yeah.
They got you the football, gave you a great opportunity. You got to cash in and get some points.
To throw is Garoppolo. And he comes back with one complete. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. They'll get a dozen there, and it's a 1st down, 49ers. They'll run for the first time with Tevin Coleman. And not much. Maybe a yard down to the 23.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On 2nd and 9, Garoppolo. And he's going to go down. Back at the 27-yard line, he's sacked. The defensive end, Danielle Hunter, drops him. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
Completes it to Samuel. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Really been an ideal start for them. They get the turnover on the opening possession. Now here they are moving the ball straight down the field on their first drive.
And that feels good, but you know on their side of the field, all they're thinking is finish this drive off because...
And it'll be intercepted. Picked up by Mike Hughes. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. So a pretty shaky start here for both sides.
Yeah, each quarterback's throwing a ball to the other team. Do you think on both sidelines they're sitting them down and saying, okay, remember, this is the color jersey we're wearing. They're wearing the other color. Let's make sure we get it to our guys, please.
And now the drive starts with a completion out to the right. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. 22 yards on the catch and run, a 1st down.
And let's face it, that what we just saw there, not a surprise, is it? I mean, this is what he does well. And if you don't tackle him as soon as he catches the ball, this is the end result. Big yardage after it.
Got the speed, the agility, so good with run after catch. And we're only in the 1st quarter, so they better get a wrangle and a hold on that quickly.
Yeah, you're exactly right. And what's really difficult to try and defend him is if you want to press it so that you get him on the ground quickly after the catch, a lot of times he'll just run past you at the initial point of contact, and he'll go deep.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. A toss to Cook. And some space here. Pass the... And now off to the races, down the right side. Touchdown, Vikings. With a 1st touchdown of this Super Bowl, and a long one at that, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. So a long play for our first points in the Super Bowl.
No doubt about it, and what we see here is something that we saw all year long from them. The ability to strike from anywhere on the field. How about the way they got it started in this one?
So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. The San Francisco offense getting... last-minute instructions before they take over here. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate, and of course they'd like to forget the ending, the interception, but they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know what, a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
7 yards on the play, and that'll bring up 2nd down. A good way there to have him bounce back from the interception last drive. Something underneath, a little bit of rhythm going.
I know the best ones in the league have supreme confidence, but every now and then you need a little booster, don't you? This is their way of protecting him and bringing him back, and then they'll turn him loose later, I would think.
Now this one to his tight end out on the right side. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45.
Mike, here we go.
From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. They'll run with Coleman on 1st down. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down. The 49ers with the football here to begin the second quarter as they've got it second down and 12. The 49ers with the football here to begin the second quarter as they've got it second down and 12. On second down, it's Coleman. The second down play not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there.
Sometimes you're aligned perfectly and the play comes to you, and sometimes you got to cover some ground to go make the play, as we just saw there.
We saw a great example of perseverance right there on that play.
Got to be careful. They might want to throw one over his head as this game progresses.
To throw, it's Garoppolo. And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe. Shamar Stephen drops him for a 4-yard loss there, and that brings up 4th down. They were trying to set up that screen, trying to get that screen to formulate. Took too long.
Ends up taking a sack, and that leads you to a couple of other questions. Number one, why don't you just get rid of the football near the screen guy so that you don't take an interception? But really the big one, they just took everything away, and he was really kind of flummoxed on that play and ended up taking the sack.
And now out comes Minnesota. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at the 20. To throw, Cousins. Going deep for Diggs. He's got him in, complete. And he takes it all the way down to the 32. Cousins finding Diggs on a big one, 48 yards.
That's just flat out a beautiful throw right there.
It was a rope. That's maybe the speed you would see on a slant, but he threw that downfield with that kind of pace.
Now, if he throws that one with any type of arc, puts a little air under it, that play doesn't happen. He had to fire it in there, and he did.
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Stephon Diggs, 32 yards. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. And that drive happened quickly, which is great because they scored the points, but then their defense has to come right back out on the field.
It is exciting, isn't it, for the offense to do that? The defense is saying, okay, that's cool, but let's not make it a habit. We need to get some rest sometime.
Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. That'll be taken in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. And San Francisco gets set to go here. And it's been a rocky start for them thus far. They had the turnover and then the punt on those first 2 drives.
So there is optimism because they've improved, right? Turnover, you just noted it on the first drive.
Punt's better than the turnover.
The punt is better on the second one. Now they're hoping to turn into first downs and hopefully points.
10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
2 yards, good enough for a first. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Now Garoppolo. And now finally he'll be forced to go down, just protecting the football, hitting the turf. It's a sack.
We've been to enough practices to recognize what we saw there. That was good coaching, right? Taking care of the football, protecting it, making sure you don't give anything up. But boy, oh boy, that's hard for a lot of quarterbacks to give up on a play, isn't it?
Yeah, but he did the right thing. Protect the football because I think you saw what I saw. There was really nothing downfield.
And nothing downfield. If you try and force it, sometimes you turn a bad play into something way worse, and you can really hurt your team that way.
Throwing again on second down, but this time it's incomplete.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. On On 3rd and long, it's Garoppolo. And that is incomplete.
Well, sometimes those cliches really come true, don't they? When they talk about it takes all 11 to play good defense. We've seen that in this ball game. I think the secondary has to be singled out, though. They are in the presence of every receiver whenever the ball's thrown, and this one they help force another incompletion.
Sherrills to return it. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. Here's Stephon Diggs as he and the rest of the offense get ready to go again. Making his presence felt early in this one. First half, already over the century mark.
How about the yards per completion, too? That's a pretty darn good number there. Number of catches, but his shredding defense is getting big yardage with each and every one of them.
They go play action here on 1st down. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Nick Bosa, credit him with a sack, and it goes as a loss of 6. Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. 2 minutes even on the clock in the first half of Super Bowl 54. A reminder, coming up at intermission, we'll get highlights of this Super Bowl from Jonathan Coachman and the crew in Orlando for our EA Sports halftime report. Going. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. Touchdown, Vikings. Stephon Diggs, his 2nd touchdown of the Super Bowl. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. Not a whole lot to recap on that drive. Just one play, 75 yards to the house.
Yeah, it's a long way to go. And remember, rarely is it a straight line 75 yards, too. Got to have a little extra in there. So whatever the final number is, a well-deserved seat on the bench, a little oxygen if he wants it as well.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line.
Let's go, let's go.
And the Vikings defense ready to head back out there now. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
Don't want to.
I know, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
And you're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by Anthony Harris. And he'll get it all the way down inside the 35-yard line.
The good old cover 3 defense, partner. When you start playing football as a safety, that's the first thing you're taught. Middle of the field, be as deep as the deepest receiver in any zone, and break on the football when it's thrown and pick it off, just as we saw there.
Cousins now. This is caught. A very nice pickup of 33 yards. What a first half this has been offensively. I mean, defensively, what do you do when you're getting torched like this?
Well, these receivers are absolutely wearing them out. So 2 thoughts come to mind. 1, get some oxygen. You fill up your lungs a little bit. And number 2, talk to your guys up front. You need a pass rush to help slow.
And he'll get in. Touchdown, Minnesota. Dalvin Cook, his 2nd touchdown of this Super Bowl. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. And always a good first half when you can hit pay dirt twice.
And it never hurts to have that good feeling as the game moves on. Just think about halftime. If that's all he gets, he'll just sit there at the half and think, all right, 2 already. I can get some more. I can get some more. And he'll be encouraging his offensive line to create some space.
Bailey got the extra point, and a rout is on here in this first half. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll probably wish he'd reconsidered here. It will cost him 10 yards as he's down at the 15.
Well, conventional football 101, tells us if you don't get it back to the 20-yard line on a kickoff return, that's a disappointment. But some of these teams, special teams coaches, with approval by the head coach, they give them full authority to go ahead and bring it out and try to be aggressive. Almost what we call the green light, red light theory. Green light means go, red light means stop. Looks like he had green on that play.
A nice-looking play to start the drive down the middle and complete. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. He'll get 17 on that one, and the Niners have a first down. It's been a very one-sided game so far. They got to change what they're doing right now, don't they? You can't wait till the halftime speech to make an adjustment.
No, you can't, because if you're doing it right, you're adjusting from series to series, and they need a big adjustment here to try and put some points on the board.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Garoppolo. Open man is Samuel. Complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 18 yards. First down, Niners.
Not only have they completed a couple on this drive, but they peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too.
Absolutely. Great start. 2 nice plays in the pass. Rush coming, and he... taken down. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Garoppolo, a final shot here before half. Taking a shot for... He's got it at the 15. And he's in for the touchdown on the final play of the first half. The prayer is answered.
How did they get that done?
And here on the road, that could be a huge score for their morale in the second half.
Every team has confidence going into the start of games, but sometimes you get it rocked a little bit, and this certainly applies here for them. But guess what?
And he's going to go down. So they pass up the field goal attempt to go for 6, but as a result, they leave points on the field, and that's going to do it for this first half. So the halftime show of the Super Bowl abbreviated, ready to go for the second half. The never tedious halftime show behind us, and now it's back to football as we get going again in Super Bowl 54. And he's got room. There he goes, right side. Touchdown, 49ers. From end zone to end zone, it's a 106-yard return. And the 49ers make some inroads here on that deficit. That's a score you felt they had to have here in the third quarter to get back in this game.
And you know that there's an emphasis on their side. Hey, we know this. We know where we are. But sometimes that binds you up so much that you try too hard, you don't get the score. A perfect combination of urgency, yet relaxed enough to get it done.
So now the other return teams out there as they'll try to duplicate what they just saw. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. A marker down. He does get it up past the 25. Will it hold? Let's see.
Defense.
So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
The face mask moves him all the way out past the 40 now for first down. Throwing, Cousins. He's got it complete to Diggs, right side. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. That one goes for 24 yards. He's certainly been a huge factor in this one. He's got the 2 touchdowns to his credit. Now they look to him again. He picks up the first.
Yeah, I can hear everyone saying, well, why don't you cover him, double him, triple him, do what you have to do. But sometimes...
And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Stephon Diggs with his 3rd touchdown of this Super Bowl. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage.
And this is obviously quite a performance. And most of the time when we talk about someone putting a team on their back, I think we're talking about a guy who runs the football. In this case, it's a guy out wide catching it, and he's done exactly that, truly leading his team right now towards victory.
3 touchdown catches. He's been the headliner. That's fielded in the end zone. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The 49ers offense making its way back out there. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. Here's Garoppolo to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The sack by big number 98, Linval Joseph.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
From the gun on 3rd, Garoppolo. And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Eric Kendricks. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line. Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in December, right? It is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he threw.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
Brandon, it looked like he had his hands on it for a moment, but let's face it, that was going to be a tough catch all the way because of the presence of the defense right there as he was trying to haul it in.
Yeah, nice job to force the incompletion. And he struggles to get a yard here, maybe a yard, down to the 31.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
So they've been unable to capitalize on the great field position as of yet. Here's 3rd and 9. To throw is Cousins. Oh, a ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. It's the former Seahawk, Richard Sherman. They needed a break. They needed to make a play here in the 3rd quarter. Defensively, they did that. Now they got to go quickly and get some points on the board.
And the best part is that they made their own break, taking the ball away. Now they just look at their offense and saying, guys,
let's go.
Come on, capitalize on this one.
The throw right side is complete here on the first play of the drive. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they'll march off another 15 against your squad.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked up by Anthony Harris. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. This quarterback now over 300 yards now for the game, and time to improve on that as he's got a 1st and 10. Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to hold that one in.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35. Now Cousins. And it's knocked away and incomplete. The linebacker, Fred Warner, right there on the coverage.
When you see passes knocked down by those guys I call the frustrated fullbacks, the linebackers, you know that in their zone coverage, they were able to drop, see the ball thrown, and react to it very quickly.
Lets it fly for Thielen. And for a third time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked off near the 34. And it's a terrific return here as he's going to have him set up with a first and goal right at about the 6-yard line. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards.
Here we go, here we go, here we go. Ready? No chance.
Garoppolo going to hand this one to Coleman. And only able to get 2 here. Stopped at the 30.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got to just pin their ears back and get after him now.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. He'll pick up another first down with that run.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage.
Right there, 54, right there, 54.
On 2nd and 11 now. Garoppolo. And across the chalk into the end zone. It's a 49er touchdown. From 19 yards away. And the 49ers get a score closer.
The tight end position has always been dangerous, especially in the red zone, short field. But now even more so because these tight ends aren't necessarily the tight ends of old. They're the rocked-up wide receivers who have a little bit more speed. Way harder to cover than before.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field stands.
And now this is right in Kyle Shanahan's wheelhouse. He'll go for 2 here. Working from the gun, Garoppolo. And they're going to get the 2-point conversion, caught in the end zone, and that cuts the lead a bit further. So they elect to pass there on the 2-point try. Sometimes could prove risky there. It worked out.
Yeah, and I love how you bring up that it can prove risky because if you get it intercepted and they return it, that's 2 points for the defense, but not on that play.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee as they'll start. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They've got to right the ship. They had a great first half, but the lead has really gone down. Now, you know, you always talk about the nowhere to escape, and he goes down. DeForest Buckner with a sack, the former number 7 overall pick.
Tremendous read and reaction by the defensive tackle, and frankly, partner, it's not that often the DTs have that type of easy access back to the quarterback. Never bought the play-action fake.
After the sack on first down, Cousins. They've got his man complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. 33 yards that time. 1 quarter remains here in the Super Bowl. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The big play has him all the way out near midfield for a 1st and 10.
Let's go, B, let's go.
Cousins going deep for Diggs. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down. Despite the lead here in the fourth, they're still taking shots.
Not content to sit on this lead at all. And to me, it raises the question of what's right in this game nowadays. Do you sit on the ball and run it because you have enough of a lead? Or do you try and extend it because you always feel like the team can come back?
Extend it. Have some fun.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the fourth quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there, and now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9.
Now the hit comes, and Cousins lost the football. And now this is scooped up by the 49ers. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line.
Partner, that one looked like it was over. I mean, they had control, had the football, and the defense had to make a play in order to keep them in the game. That's exactly what they did.
And now that door ajar, 2-score game, so hold on here, not done in the fourth. The San Francisco offense getting their last-minute instructions before they take over here. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
They'll run on first down. Coleman, and they're able to swarm him behind the line, and his rough night continues. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
This one into the hands of Kittle, the tight end. And they'll get this down to the 10. His 5th catch tonight, and it's good for a first down. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. You know, you're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full 2-minute offense, you have to up the tempo, up the urgency. Maybe you're starting to call 2 plays in a huddle each time you snap the ball.
It'll be a 3-yard pickup, and it brings up 2nd and goal.
Do you think after that last run they're thinking to themselves, we had to wait all day to play this night game, and we're still not able to run the ball the way we want to?
Yeah, this defense, they've risen to the challenge all evening long. Play fake there to Coleman. Now Garoppolo. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked up by the former first-rounder Trey Waynes. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know, it's not always just one guy's fault. Maybe somebody ran a wrong pattern. Maybe.
And the pressure too much that time as Cousins goes down.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
Off the play fake, Cousins. That one into the hands of Thielen, complete. And he'll be corralled well upfield right around the 40-yard line. That goes for a gain of 31.
Just more of the same there, partner. Guys have just been running free in the secondary this entire game. No pass rush, a lot of passes completed. Been an easy day for them.
Now the big play pushes him all the way out to the 40 now for first down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Dee Ford. It'll go as a loss of about 8 as he gets in there to drop him.
Brandon, more often than not, you'd say they've had his number, and we can count them up so far. 1, 2, 3, 4 sacks given up. But guess what? He's still been able to make some plays, and right now they have a lead.
Under pressure again, and down he goes again. And now a timeout taken here defensively with 2:07 remaining. So they'll also have the stop coming up at the 2-minute warning. So now after the sack, Cousins and the Vikings come up here 3rd and long. Now Cousins here on the bootleg. That's complete to the receiver, Thielen. Well, they'll get 15, but that won't be nearly enough. It's 4th down. The clock showing 2 minutes even in what's been a memorable Super Bowl 54. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. They've got a 4th down here in a game that looks to have been decided already. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. It's the former Seahawk, Richard Sherman. And the return stops just a few yards shy of midfield. They'll spot the ball at the 47-yard line. Well, you won't hear any boos from this home crowd on that call.
No, not at all. And it's been a long day for this crowd waiting for this game. It's been a long evening as well. Finally, they feel they got a call.
And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Throwing here, Cousins. Now the hit comes, and Cousins lost the football. And now this is scooped up by the 49ers. 20, 10, and hold everything here. This one is not over yet. They return it for the touchdown.
They continue to fight, don't they?
And what we just saw, very, very rare. We only had 5 of those in the first 50 Super Bowls.
The biggest stage, the biggest game, and we just saw it happen again. Extraordinary.
The defense has been good, and they were good again there. They'll try and run it in with Coleman. And he will get into the end zone. So that shaves 2 more off the deficit as they now trail by 5. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way. The fumble return for a touchdown. And this one travels out of bounds, so unsuccessful there on the onside kick try.
And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
Good starting field position for the Vikings as they have it 1st and 10, right at the 50-yard line. Now Cousins. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. It's the former Seahawk, Richard Sherman. And the return out shy of midfield to the 46-yard line. So, my goodness, I wouldn't have thought this possible not too long ago, but that turnover there means we have a game again.
Yeah, it's been a completely different team here in the second half. I just wonder on the other side of the field where the starters telling the backups, get ready, you're going to get some playing time. And now guess what? Hope they didn't cut the tape off of their wrists and ankle.
And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off by the former first-rounder Trey Wayne. And he is going to get this one back to the 20-yard line. Well, that puts a little bit of a wrinkle in their comeback bid.
Yeah, everything had turned around for them, hadn't it? I mean, things were now going their way. But you did mention it's a wrinkle in their comeback bid. It's not the death knell for them by any stretch, but now they've got some extra work to do in order to climb all the way back.
Following the interception, Cousins. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Now San Francisco going to call their second timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. Cousins here to throw. He'll find Thielen, work in the middle. And he's able to get up here to the 26. And now the Niners going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Cousins. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed if there's contact coming from both sides, No flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces fourth down. And here's a big one now. Trying to hold this lead. They're going to go for it here on fourth down. Cousins to throw for it on fourth. And no, it's incomplete. The linebacker Fred Warner right there on the coverage. So nursing a slim lead, and that is the opposite of protecting that slim lead.
All I can think here is that head coach, he knows more about what's going on with his team than we do. He must know something's up.
Here we go.
Either he has trouble with his punter, right? He's worried about his defense. There's an explanation in there that we're going to ask for after the game, because in this situation, I wouldn't have done that in normal circumstances, but maybe he thought my best opportunity is with my offense.
Interesting. Back in their own territory. Now we'll see what transpires. Well, I guess at the very least, they got the tackle from keeping him out of the end zone.
Yeah, you're looking for that silver lining, aren't you? But guess what? Everything changes now after that big play. They've got a chance to strike.
It's Coleman here. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be second and goal. They will run again with Coleman. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. They'll try and run for it here. It's Coleman. And he will fight his way into the end zone for a touchdown. Tevin Coleman with 4 seconds remaining. And the 49ers have now taken the lead. You and I have seen a lot of special comebacks. This one pretty much unbelievable. Roaring all the way back from that huge deficit, now in the driver's seat.
Take the numbers out of it. It seemed insurmountable. It seemed monumental, like no chance you could get that done, but they did. Let's go back to the 92 NFL season, 93 playoffs. Houston, Buffalo, in Buffalo. Houston with the monster lead, and here come the Bills all the way back to win it.
Led by Frank Reich, correct?
Yes, Frank Reich was the quarterback. He had done it in college a few times. He did it in the pros with the Bills. How old were you then?
I was 10, but I remember it. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Look at the clock. Everyone knows the situation. Probably time here for one final play.
And we know what that play is going to be. It's got to be some sort of Hail Mary, throwing it towards the end zone and hoping someone can catch it or catch it up.
And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. It's the former Seahawk, Richard Sherman. And the San Francisco 49ers will hoist the Lombardi Trophy as Super Bowl champions. For the victors, getting to hoist that